Hey guys, we'll be on stream shortly. See you soon.
Okay. So actually, we're going live tonight. Thank you for joining us. If you've just tuned in, you've been watching that silly starting soon screen. We're going to be talking about Battlefield 2042. We're going to be talking about the trailer itself, talking about features that are included in the game, things we like, things we don't like, things that we agree on, and things that we probably won't agree on. And tonight we've got Stealth Slicer on the panel, and we've got Borked. Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening.
Hey guys, it's good to be back again. Sorry for missing a few. I had things I need to do.
Excellent. So tonight, like I say, we're talking about Battlefield 2042. Now we know the name. Now we know what it's all about. I'm going to start off, I think, by saying I was actually, after the actual trailer itself, I was totally and utterly buzzing. I got with the hype. I really enjoyed the trailer, but I know people out there didn't, and there's certain things within the trailer that they didn't actually like. I'm going to go to Borked. I mean, you initially were sort of 0% hyped, and now you're minus 100% hyped. Can you explain that, Borked?
Okay, so that's got nothing to do with the non-trailer. So whilst I appreciate what they did was launch a really nice tech demo, which had lots of callbacks to things the community would like. That wasn't a trailer, as it had no gameplay in it. In my opinion, it was just.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Definitely. It was just a feature. Now, I'm not against that, like whatsoever, and I think they've done the right thing by having a very quick succession gameplay trailer on Sunday, which I'm really looking forward to. But it's the other stuff that wasn't mentioned.
Anything specific?
Yeah, so there's going to be heroes in the game.
Yeah. I think they call him specialists.
Yeah, I mean, call them whatever you want. It's irrelevant. We all know the mechanic.
Yeah.
And I do worry that that's probably too far off field for me.
Right.
I just, if I wanted to go play any other game, I'd go play any other game. Like, why have
Sure.
they got lots of other games do this well. I'm not a fan of those games, for no reason other than personal preference, but they obviously do it well and they obviously have an audience. Why do we need a 2-bit copy from a AAA?
Are we talking a particular game? Are you referring to? Because if I was going to refer to a game, I'd say it was a bit too COD-like for me. Good evening, Stars. By the way,
Yeah. I think maybe not COD per se, because although they do the operator thing, it's just cosmetic for the most part.
sure.
But you've got games like Valorant.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully, though, mate. I mean, that's another thing that's worrying me about the Specialist. I hope it's just cosmetics and they have a feature that won't break the gameplay as such.
This is the problem.
I think we need to come on to that.
Yeah, this is going to.
I'll leave that to Stealth. So, Stealth, I'll ask the same sort of question to you, mate. Is there anything, what's your general overview of what you thought, have you seen of the trailer? We do understand that it's, in-engine gameplay. But is there anything they've mentioned that you're not over keen on? What are your general sort of views on the trailer and what we're going to get from yourself?
I watched the trailer. I was loving it. I liked a lot of things, but I have a lot of questions about it because, of course, I played the original Battlefield 2042, which came back in 2006, and this is 2043, so this is 1 year later. However, a lot of the technology that we were playing with in 42 has mysteriously vanished in 43.
Was that not 2142 though, Stealth? Because this is 2042.
Ah, have I
I think that
screwed up? Yes, I have.
think just a little bit. Yeah, I think the game you're talking about with the mechs and all that was 2142, and this is 2042. So we're talking like 100 years before, 20 odd years after Battlefield 4.
Yeah, absolutely my mistake there, guys. I have been misreading the title for the past week or so. Sorry, go on, Buck.
I say so very interesting. I don't know if you guys remember David Goldfarb, Locust 9. Who was one of the main guys behind Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3. Right. He left and went and did Payday 2. Just out of a weird kind of, I don't know why, I jumped on his Twitter to see what he was saying. And he said, new Battlefield trailer is confusing to me because the tech doesn't feel like 2042 tech. Stares at Whirlwind. Somebody replied, he replied, here's what I would want. Whirlwind is alien tech. Aliens show up in 2042. Thus, 2142 is actually built off alien tech.
That'd make sense. That'd actually make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a genuine insider in terms of he
knows his shit.
He's worked on the previous games. Yeah. I read that and I thought, do you know what? that's quite an interesting concept.
Yeah.
It is because it's still remaining true to what we want in Battlefield. We don't want a humans versus aliens game, but it takes the idea of first contact and then what happens if we build it. But going back to Devlin's original question, what don't I like? The hero system.
Right.
And on top of that, the class system. Because unfortunately, Devlin, I've got to burst your bubble on this, the heroes do provide gameplay benefits. They are not purely cosmetic.
So there is an aspect of what they are that will make a massive difference, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, for example, if I want to play engineer,
Yeah.
I can play an engineer who has a shotgun or a
Yeah.
PDW, like a traditional engineer,
Yeah.
or I could just pull out a sniper rifle. That has been confirmed that primary weapons are no longer class locked.
Yeah, I mean,
That-
anyone can though. Any
but
class can pick
let-
any weapon.
Let me take it forwards though.
Okay.
So I'm playing an engineer. I decide I want to have a sniper rifle or whatever.
Yeah.
On top of that, I then choose a hero class, which, for argument's sake, let's say it gives me the grappling hook, because that guy has
Okay.
been confirmed.
Yeah.
I am now an engineer with a grappling hook. I can move freely, I can get in position, I can snipe. If I am playing the opposing team and I put out a spot and I get engineer ping on that point,
Right.
okay, sure, I can close with that engineer, I can get to mid-range, I can lay down fire. Oh god, I just took a rifle bullet through the head. What the fuck? It's going to completely throw that traditional battlefield tactical dynamic.
Yeah.
Because if I'm playing Operation Firestorm in Battlefield 3 and I ping the mountain, I see a sniper, I'm like, okay, yeah, don't expose yourself to that
Sure.
sniper over there.
Sure.
If I ping the mountain and I get engineer or assault, I'm just like, all right, I'll ignore him. But then suddenly I take a bullet. It's like, what?
Because he can choose to have a sniper. I know
Exactly.
I know exactly where you're coming from. Definitely agree with that. I don't know if the class system, because there's a lot of time yet. There's a good few months, whereas they can decide, look, the community doesn't actually like that. I'm not one for the specialists. I don't particularly like it, but you've got Stazze says, honestly, I don't mind the operators that they showed so far because they basically act like classic classes, but really hope they don't go full
They
goofy
really,
mode.
really don't is the issue.
I think
Because
this
you
is
need
a problem. Yeah.
You need to remember that the classes are irrelevant now. We might as well not have the phrase classes.
No,
You can
classes still exist.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah,
The
classes. That's the question. Wait, the operators are replacing the classes. No, so there's classes plus operators. So there's another layer of complexity on the balance.
But the classes really don't mean what they used to mean anymore, is what I'm getting at. The classes, in my opinion, can basically be, at this point in time, at this point in time, with the information we have, the class system is irrelevant to me, because the classes originally dictated what your gadgets were and what your primaries were. Your primary is now whatever you want it to be, and your gadget is dictated by your hero class. So what does your base class do anymore?
I don't know. Is this such a thing then? Because that's, I mean, Staz has just said that. Well, aren't the operators replacing the classes?
No.
And he's just got it. Obviously, he's heard what you guys have been saying. But I mean, I'm a little bit confused. If I have to be truthful, I'm a little confused. And like Dave just said there, one shot and perks, they get the special perks.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
like
they
you
do.
said there, the grappling hook, and there's also the guy with the flying guy, whatever I can't remember.
Just
what
to
they call
correct on that, Devlin.
Go on.
Yes, he is correct. I completely forgot about the perks. You have your gadget, which is your grappling hook, your wingsuit, your sentry gun, whatever. But you also have a physical COD-style perk, i.e. you reload faster or you take less suppression. I don't know, I'm making them up right now. But there is a built-in perk as well that they get.
Yep.
Yeah, I get that. And again, could that break the meta of the gameplay? I don't know. I am a little bit concerned. I am a little bit worried, but I can't help being super hyped about it. I mean, we've got Quark there saying what the guy who does War History. Really like the last video, by the way. You should watch some of his shit. It's really, really good.
It is good, really good.
His last cinematic was brilliant. I'm not really concerned of the specialist yet. We'll have to see the gameplay trailer to find out, and I think we're going to move on to that next. He said, honestly, can't wait to make a fan-made cinematic story for this game. If anyone's watching, go and check out Quark 007. Check out his YouTube channel. His cinematics are beyond good. I mean, obviously, it takes an awful lot of time doing this, but his Battlefield cinematics are out of this world. And the boys on the panel, we love his stuff. Please go and subscribe to his channel. So...
I just had...
go on,
sorry,
Paul.
Yes, there's no single player campaign, but what I've been reading is multiplayer will also include AI bots.
Yes, I'm glad that we're going back to that.
I'm quite happy about that, in all fairness, me.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy about that.
It depends how clever they are. You know, like Red Orchestra, where it's just, you know, you can lie down and just kill bots all day and not worry about it. I'm sure it's not going to be. But if it makes games feel more populated that aren't, then yeah.
Because that's, I mean, that the bottom line is for them to make money. I mean, they're gonna make shitloads of money on this game. It is simple as that. They're going back to, what I think DICE do well, and it's a modern shooter. But I think sometimes they've got to take some chances. I'm not overly sure if I'm happy with that, but. Specialist. I don't know. I think I'm gonna try and be on the fence about it till we see. Like everyone's saying in the chat, we'll wait for the gameplay trailer on Sunday, I believe. I'm not sure what time it is, but I think it's on Sunday. So I'll be buzzing for that, and I will be live streaming that. One thing that's concerning me a little bit, because Bork sort of hit on the single player aspect. Now, we're not getting a single player, and to be honest, like it or not like it, I'm actually not that bothered because DICE, Battlefield do not make, for me personally, do not make good single player campaigns. So I'm not overly bothered about that. However, have you seen the prices? I mean, I think it's a bit cheeky. I mean, they are AAA games, but we start off with 60 quid for the base game. I think it's 80 quid for the deluxe, and then it's something like 109 quid for the ultimate. I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Remember that we're going to have multiple battle passes on top of this. And
exactly.
In addition to that, I can easily see, should we say, out-of-season purchases as well. So we'll have the battle passes, which will be a couple of maps and a couple of operators or heroes, whatever the fuck you want to call them. But I can see us getting out-of-season stuff. I can see, we've made up this class. We're going to sell it as just an out-of-battle pass thing that you can get if you want. But it worries me. It really, really worries me because these hero-type models for games are incredibly exploitable in the business realm. And we know from experience that EA will exploit the hell out of it.
Oh, of course they will.
Get money out of it, they will.
Yep. Of course they will. Do you think they'll see a debacle of the, the loot boxes? Do you think they'll try and, in a sort of sly sort of way, do you think they'll try and drop it in?
I don't think we'll see loot boxes, but I certainly think that the purchasable things you will get, such as the heroes, will cause issue because the thing about heroes and anything that is like that is if you create a new one, you need to get something which has not been done yet, which pushes you further and further away from your original idea and your original capabilities of your hero. So what you usually see in games like this, not all of them granted, is balanced by brokenness. Each new person becomes subsequently more out there and subsequently more broken, and then either gets toned down really hard so it's different to what you bought, or everyone else gets toned up a little bit, or they just get left behind. So
nerf buff cycle.
Yeah, exactly. It could go bad, it could go good.
A perfect example of this is Rainbow Six. So anybody who played the old Rainbow Six games knows that they were incredibly balanced in terms of multiplayer.
Definitely.
Weapons were very deadly. It was essentially one hit, one kill for center, mass, and head, and everything else was a 2-hit kill. So it really didn't matter what you used. The option was yours. Then obviously Siege came out, and they came out with the original set of operators, which didn't have fantastic abilities. Like it wasn't anything too unbelievable.
They were just not Spec Ops, but SWAT guys basically.
Yeah, and now we're in the realm of complete fantasy.
And
we have been for a while.
Just before I go to the website, I'm going to put the website up and we can discuss one or two things that they've put on there. Does anyone know how the specialist works? Are you going to have to purchase this bloke, or do you have to grind to win to be able to play this bloke, or does one person in each squad get to pick the specialist?
Everybody
does anyone know how it works?
Every single person in the game, that every single human player is a specialist, which means that you will have 20 Borises. I know that's one of the heroes who's got the sentry gun. So you got 20 copies of the same bloody guy. That's something I take issue with outright.
So that is going to break the game for me.
This is my point. this is my point. If I am playing an engineer and I've got a sniper rifle and all this crap, and then I say, there's an engineer up there, or I say, Boris is up there, I'm like, well, what does Boris have?
That's quite worrying. That is actually really worrying. But I mean, I'm sure I've seen something where they said, is everyone going to be running about as specialists? And I think someone from DICE, I can't remember off the top of my head, saying, no, that will definitely not happen. But it's worrying me a little bit is how it's going to happen
I've not
then.
seen
How,
that, honestly.
I'm sure I've seen something. I might have dreamt it because I don't want it to be right that, everyone can run about as a specialist. But how are they going to implement it? What I'm actually going to, let me have a look. I might actually put the website up and see.
If that turns out to be true, I completely retract what I've just said about everyone being specialists.
Let's have a look. So I'll just put the website up. Let's see if we can find it. We'll have a look at that later. The World Media, right? Okay, so. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the game overview. I'm going to the game overview and it says Battlefield 2042 marks a return to the iconic all-out warfare of the franchise. Adapt and overcome dynamically changing battlegrounds with the help of your squad and a cutting-edge arsenal with support for 128 players, which I'm buzzing to see actually. Prepare for unprecedented scale and on vast environments, take on massive experiences from updated multiplayer modes like Conquest and Breakthrough to the all-new Hazard Zone. Now, Specialist, there we go. Let's have a look. Let's have a look what it says. So, meet the Specialist. Right, so what it says, and I'll scroll up to the Specialist in 1 second there, is choose your role on the battlefield and form custom-made squads through the new specialist system. Based on Battlefield 4's classes, specialists have one unique speciality and trait, but the rest of the loadout is fully customizable. Choosing and equipping your specialist allowed you to build synergies within your squad and empower yourself to take on any battlefield situation. But it literally doesn't say. Let's meet the specialist first. You said one's called Boris.
Yeah, Boris. He's the guy.
Oh yeah.
He's
so
got
we've
sentry gun.
We've got. We'll talk about. Yeah, we've got Webster McKay. We've got Maria Falk. We've got I think it's Peter, Piotr Boris Gustowski.
Paitor. It's
Paitor.
Peter, yeah.
All right,
yeah.
so it's Paitor, Wickers, Casper Van Dale, and Redacted. So that might be one that's coming out in one of the purchasable packs. I don't know, but it doesn't. See, I want to know how they work. Because I don't think that I would enjoy it if you could every single time, because if you've got a specialist, same as Call of Duty, you're gonna go in as that specialist. The game is going to be full on with specialists, so
you're gonna have best in slots and meta builds, basically. There's no other way around that, given that primaries and secondaries are now free picks. If they weren't free picks, you wouldn't have that much of a problem, but Boris has an AK. If I gave Boris a 50 anti-material rifle, hey ho.
you got the man rushing on the field.
you just pick the best in slot at that point. If you give someone everything, they will pick the best in slot, I guarantee you that. But this is what I was saying earlier I think I said it in the Russell's Native server. If you guys haven't joined that, please do. It should be on screen.
Cheers. It is on screen, bottom left.
I think I was saying there, it might be one of my other servers. What has happened here is Rainbow Six has gone outside, basically, because that's exactly what it feels like. You've got a team of specialists. I read that paragraph that you've put up, and it's like, build your squad out of different specialists, and I'm just having this Vietnam PTSD flashback to the lobbies of Rainbow Six Siege, where everyone is picking and counter-picking.
Yeah. So I don't know. Can anyone? But I'll go straight to you, Bolt. Can you see how they're going to implement it so it doesn't break the game or the gameplay? Because Stas said something there, and I mean, it's quite memeish, but this could be true. He's saying, so you're telling me there'll be like 60 of those robot dogs running about, and I won't go the rest of his question. But he's got a point there. How does it work? How does, say one of these operators, his perk is the Boston Dynamic dog. Do you know what I mean? And there's fucking 30 of them things rolling about.
Yeah, I think I think Stealth's right. I think we've got to look at Siege in a sense. Personally, I think this goes against what Battlefield is.
Yeah.
But I will reserve judgment until I see gameplay on Sunday.
Agreed.
Because, quite honestly, even reading through some of the mainstream press and what they put, nobody really understands how this works.
Yeah.
I've just read on PCGamesN.com. It said one of the biggest changes to the series is the introduction of specialists, which adds more flexibility to the class system. So there's a class system.
But no one's saying how, though.
Yeah,
how?
It said in previous games, many players would pick a class because certain weapons were locked to that class, meaning they weren't making the most of their gadgets.
Yeah.
The specialist system allows you to have whatever loadout you want, and your chosen specialist gadget trait, specialist gadget and trait go on top of that loadout. So what you're saying is, it's like Warzone. That's what
That's what you're perceiving of what everyone's saying.
So you get to choose your operator in Warzone, and you choose what weapons they have and what perks they have, traits, perks, whatever, and what gadgets they use. That's Warzone, yeah.
Yeah, but pretty
the
much.
The other way that I've understood it, and again, I don't know if I dreamt this or not when I was looking across the website, was you might actually be able to confirm this, but if you go back to Boris, I think underneath it said engineer or something. So
I'll actually go back to the website again,
Sure.
so we can go and find.
I don't know if the specialists are grouped by class. I don't know.
So you got Boris, place of birth, Russia, class engineer, gadget,
that's what I mean.
Sentry, trait, sentry operator,
and that's
spots the enemy target when the sentry gun. Yeah.
That's what I mean, though, because these specialists are within classes, so that gives us a little bit more of a divide, but class doesn't really mean anything anymore.
It depends how many people can actually use it at the same time. I mean, you got say for argument's sake, go to Warzone, what Bort was talking about when you had the what were them big guys with the miniguns? I can't remember. But there was only Juggernauts. Okay, so you pretty much had, even in the Juggernaut mode, you had like 3 or 4 on the map. I mean, and I believe that these maps are going to be the biggest maps we've ever seen. But, I can handle, for argument's sake, 5 specialists on each side. But if there's going to be 50, 60 of these specialists, it really is going to break the game. And I don't like what I've seen about Boris. Spots the enemy target when the sentry gun locks onto the enemy. Another COD implementation in Battlefield. And I like COD, don't get me wrong, if there's any Call of Duty players there watching, I don't mind COD, but there's another thing that I think, and I don't think it's stolen, I just think it's something they've taken from COD. Is it a good or a bad thing? I don't particularly know, but it's, if I want to play COD, I'll go and buy COD.
Yeah. This is something else that has really made me a bit disappointed, because you're now locking bits and pieces of items to specialists as opposed to classes. Because I love playing Battlefield 3, for example. If I'm a recon,
still do.
I can get, damn right. If I'm a recon, I can get a respawn beacon. I can get the little drone that you can fly around. I have that flexibility to be a different type of recon, if you get what I mean. I'm not just tied into something for the sake of being tied to something. Battlefield, to me, and I said this before, as Battlefield, I want to just be a faceless grunt who's put out there to make my own fun. I don't want to go out there as a character to perform a role.
How dare you want something?
No, yeah. You need to make money for that. You need to buy a battle pack, mate.
I'll buy the self-respecting and personal opinion DLCs. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
And let's hope Dave put in there, stops the 20 different Boris ones all at once. I think, if we're going to get 20, 30 of these specialists on each side, please, hopefully these cosmetics so they all look different and we don't see just like
that's
clones. Do you know what I mean? They're just all running about the same.
Yeah, where does customization come into this? That's my question.
Apparently, it's going to be on another level, but
again,
are we going to have to pay for it? Are we going to,
undoubtedly.
I don't know. One thing that we've not really hit on at the moment, and Simon1471, Simon B1471, decent channel by the way. He's going to concentrate on Battlefield 6. And he's got a real big issues. He still is a Call of Duty player, and he made his channel from Call of Duty, and he's had an issue with skill-based matchmaking. The one thing we don't want in this game is skill-based matchmaking.
God. Yeah.
But the thing that we do need in this game is a proper anti-cheat. We've got to have it.
Yeah,
this is going to fail, honestly.
I noticed how DICE were, specifically sort of asked, do you anti-cheat that? And it was specifically said they gave no response to this. They've given no details on it, which to me, massive, massive red flag. If someone does not give you an answer, then something is wrong. Even if they give you an answer of, we don't know, or we're still looking into it, that's an answer. I'm happy with that. But
that's
no
NWI.
answer is
NWI,
the worst
no answer.
possible answer.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's going to be a massive issue because, the game could be broken before it's even started. If they haven't got a decent anti-cheat, I personally think this game is going to be broken. You're just going to look for servers just with bots only. If the cheating gets out of hand. And, I answered a question on Twitter and said, what would you do? I said, I'd do IP bans, I'd do Mac bans, hardware bans, and, none of this 7-day, if you do it again, it'll be a case of, if you use a cheat, if you're found to be hacking, you're banned full stop. And I think because the game's not free, and the least you're going to have to pay 60 quid or whatever in dollars, or, around the world, whatever it is, it's going to be equivalent to about £60. You're going to think twice about using cheats. But I think, if you get caught using a cheat, using a hack, it should be a lifetime ban. It's as simple as that.
I completely agree with you because exactly the same thing, if I may do a bit of a tangent, happened to Titanfall 1, which is if you boot up Titanfall 1 now, you will never, ever be able to join the multiplayer game. Why is that?
Because of that hacker guy? He's
because he's filling every single slot and there is nothing stopping him.
And he's doing it on 2 now.
Yep, to jump to a slightly separate thing, given you're mentioning the AI bots a lot, it's been confirmed that AI playing against AI will give you progression. So I'm very curious as to how that's going to work. Because if we've got skill-based matchmaking, which somehow filters in your rank, and all I've done is play against bots my entire career, what's that going to do to my rating?
So if you I'm just playing against bots now.
What?
You're gonna have people who just check out and only play against bots.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But it's a very strange scenario, isn't it? We've gone back for a long time. Games haven't included bots because it goes against progression systems and all of this, and it's unfair. And now we're going to do the opposite.
Progression with bots. It's what other games have done in the past. I mean, Battlefield 2.
Leave it on. Do you know what? Progression or not, you've paid for every single piece of content when you bought the game.
Sorry.
You've got to work for some of it, but none of it should be locked out from you.
I'm just having a quick look, just on screen while you're talking. I'm just having a quick look at the specialist so people can have a look. So you two keep going, and I'll just.
All right, just to clarify on that, I realised that I had an idea in my head, but I didn't actually say it. Do something similar to, I think it was original Cold War, where you have a player versus bots rank level, so you can level that up and you can still get access to that part of the game. But when you start playing against players, then you have a PvP rank as well. Or, better yet... PvP. Yeah, exactly. Better yet, just have your overall, shall we just call it your account rank, and that goes up no matter what you're fighting, bots or people. But under the hood, split your actual player ranking by bot and by person, and use those values, not your actual account rank. But this is, of course, presuming that there will be skill-based matchmaking, and there is no confirmation if there will or will not. This is speculation.
You know, sometimes I feel such a philistine because I play a lot. I play a lot of squad. Yeah, I play a lot of squad. Don't need any of that shit. I pick a class, I get a weapon, I go and have fun. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much like I don't mind that at all. That,
It's what Battlefield used to be.
It used to be like that. Yeah,
I don't have to grind. I don't have to pay. I don't have to unlock things.
Exactly.
I don't have to click on fucking stupid cases. like, everything is mental. Like a game like Squad's got it bang on. You pay one price. Yeah, it's expensive in the grand scheme of things for a game.
Sure.
But you buy it, and everything is yours. If somebody else is in the machine gunner role, you can't take it. Wait till they leave.
So one can pick one role and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
You know, be in a different squad who needs a machine gunner. You know,
Yeah.
There's flexibility there, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I just think this whole kind of grinding for weapons, which generally, I don't know about you guys, but through my experience of pretty much from COD 4 onwards and Battlefield 3 onwards, was grind for weapons that really aren't that much of an advantage until you find the one that is the meta.
Sure.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I remember many games in the past where I could give examples of that.
Yeah. Well, DICE really started this, I think, with Bad Company 2, with the PP2000, because it was just like a high rate of fire laser.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like it was stupidly OP.
Zero recoil.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah.
like, you know, you get 20, 30 kills in one life and all this kind of thing. I don't like that. You know.
Oh, you don't like that?
No. Why search for the meta? Surely, every weapon's deadly. There's just different scenarios where something.
I'm actually one for picking weapons that no one uses, in all fairness. I do it in Battlefield 4 all the time. Pick a weapon that I've not particularly used or I find hard to use, and I just try and, you know, make myself better on it. And I've historically on Battlefield games, I've actually picked weapons that, you know, no one really uses or says are shit. I'll usually go for that. But if I can just say something while there's one or two people watching, don't forget, I'm actually going to give a copy of Battlefield away. It's going to be the standard edition. I'm not that rich, but I'm going to give a copy of Battlefield away. At this moment in time, all I'm going to tell you is you've just got to be subscribed. You know, as we go along, we will let you know what you need to do. But one of the things, you've got to be subscribed. So if you want to be in the chance of winning a copy of Battlefield, whatever format it's on, be it PS4, be it the Xbox, be it the Xbox X Series X, be it the PlayStation 5, or be it PC, all you've got to do is start with being subscribed to the channel. Like say, you know, the up and coming weeks, I'll let you know how we're going to implement this, how we're going to do this. But I'm going to be giving a copy of Battlefield away to one person. And you never know, I might do something else with it. I might give, you know, more copies away. It depends how successful this one is. But again, if you want to be in with a chance of winning a copy of Battlefield 2042, click on that subscribe button. We've actually got 11 watching at the moment. A thumbs up would be nice. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to join the Discord. It's in the bottom left there. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, again, it's next to the Discord. Tonight, we've got Stealth Slicer and we've got Balked on the panel. And we're talking about Battlefield 2042. We're actually using the stage feature on Discord. So I'm not sure if anyone's listening on Discord at the moment, but they might listen afterwards. So we might make this a feature and we've opened it up as public. So, okay, guys, Battlefield 2042, you know, realistically, let's be realistic here. I'll go to stealth first. Right, okay, so they're going back to modern. You know, realistically, what are you expecting from this game?
Honestly, I think we're going to get some good things out of this. Putting aside, of course, the hero system and all the potential gripes we have, I think we could maybe get a solid Battlefield game. We know they've been having trouble recently. They know they've been having trouble
they got
recently.
hacked.
I am very, very willing to give them a chance to provide us with a good, solid base game. There are systems in there that I probably won't like, but the base Battlefield formula of go out, do what you want, shoot some people, I think will be solid. But in addition to that, I think we're going to get some refreshing new things with it, because, as I said with Conquest, for example, points are no longer just a single flag. Points are an area with 3 mini flags or whatever inside them that you can capture to then capture the point.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
is cool to me.
I like
because
that. I like that.
I got sick of Battlefield points being in this one specific area. I'm like, if I'm assigned as a soldier to hold this fortress, why do I just need the gatehouse? Why can't the enemy just walk in through that path over there?
Exactly.
That will add a lot of dynamics to the actual combat encounters, because suddenly you're not just defending a hold point, you're actually having to defend a tactical objective within the game. In addition to that, we've seen Levolution be
coming back. Apparently, there's
Levolution
in this, and I didn't want that.
There is.
Let's see. Yeah.
The thing with that is, we've not had any inclination as of yet that it'll be a case of Levolution changes the map entirely, like it did with Battlefield 4. This has been put across as Levolution events are something that will happen, which will temporarily change how things work in the map, but they will not physically change the map. I like that a lot. I have wanted a system like that in a game for forever, because I know one of them is set in, I think it's Qatar where it's set.
Yeah.
And you're moving through a city very similar to Spec Ops: The Line. Dust storm comes in, you can only see 5 feet. What do you do in that situation? It'll put a lot of pressure on people to perform well, to get to objectives, stealthily pushing in on an enemy that is completely pinning you down. It sounds really nice to me. And then when it goes away, suddenly you find out you've pushed right into the enemy's backline and you need to get yourself back out. What are you going to do? But again, it's not changing the map. I think we could see some very, very interesting things happen based on that. If it
Excellent.
Is not
so are you optimistic then?
Let's call it hopeful, but not convinced.
All right. All right. So Borks, right, mate. Okay, so I know you're quite balanced, and I know you're tactical shooter guy. I know you like Battlefield. So what are you expecting from this game?
Disappointment.
Really? You have said that though. You've been open. You've been truthful. You're not that optimistic about the game.
Okay, I think there's a problem in AAA games, and that is this idea that we have to cater for everybody.
Dave,
and
that's funny.
We have to take every little part of every other successful thing and make it ours, and copy everybody else, and do everything, but completely forget the core mechanics. Now, I went and played Battlefield 4 last night for a couple of hours on a brand new account. I loved it.
I had a ball. I've been playing it recently, the last couple of days.
I played Battlefield 4 on a different Origin account to the one that my main one.
Okay.
And I bought it on my main one, and I started from zero. It was brilliant.
Did you have fun?
I really, really enjoyed myself last night. It was great. I just don't think I'm going to have the same fun in this game based on what I've read. But
Okay.
I really, really, really want to be nicely surprised. I really genuinely want a game like I think I said the other day when it was the trailer stream. I'll happily pay the £100. I come from a generation where games are £40 brand new anyway. Years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You go back to 98 and buy a new PlayStation game. It costs you $39.99 brand new.
I suppose it did. I mean, that's a long time ago as well.
It is.
I mean, that's the equivalent to £100, I suppose, now.
It is. The amount of work that goes into these products is immense compared to what they did for all the generation games. Huge amount of resources goes into them, and I don't genuinely, I wouldn't begrudge paying £100 for a AAA game as long as it delivers the gameplay that is enjoyable.
Because I think in that sense, in all fairness, I mean, people say, right, okay, this is going to be £109. But if you get 2 years entertainment out of this, what else are you going to get for £109 for 2 years entertainment?
Exactly. Netflix costs more than that.
Good point.
Exactly. And you're watching, I suppose they'll say you're playing the same thing over and over again, but you know,
we'll give you a sandbox, do what you want, or you make it yours.
Exactly. That's what Battlefield's always been about.
Don't sit in the sandbox and moan that there's nothing here. Create something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone know? Dave asked a question. Are secondary gadgets class specific or are they universal? Let's have a look if I can find it. Actually, I'm
not sure about that. But just to add on to what I was saying, in my response, that is purely focusing on the actual bits and pieces of the game. Overall, I think I'm in a very similar camp to Bork. I think I'm probably going to be disappointed if I'm comparing the game to Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4.
Well, I mean, at least we're all being honest here. I can't help. Look,
absolutely.
You know what? I nearly fucking pre-ordered it, and I'm not going to do it because I've said I'm not going to be doing it. It disappointed me so many times, and I'm definitely not pre-ordering it. He says.
I'm glad you said the
word. I'll admit, I resisted the pre-order, but I said to myself, you can get a day one launch if you want. And then I saw the hero system, and I thought, I'm not going to buy it on day one.
And do you know what the thing is? People are saying, oh, you know, I've pre-ordered it. Why are you not pre-ordering it? Look, a digital copy is never, ever going to run out. You're never, ever not going to be able to buy this game. So there's a lot of things I need to see. There's a lot of things I need to know. And one of the things that'll put my mind at rest is the gameplay. The gameplay trailer on Sunday will put my mind at rest. So, you know, I'm not going to pre-order it until I'm pretty much know exactly what I'm going to get. I wish there was a premium pass. I honestly wish there was a premium pass. It's not Lies One Shot. Premium pass because I think, you know, I always used to buy it and everyone used to complain about it, but now it's gone. Everyone seems to want it back. At least you knew exactly what you were going to get. But I understand that, you know, the meta's changed. The meta is, you know, is completely changed.
Get rid of everything. Get rid of premium passes, get rid of loot boxes, get rid of all that crap. Just charge me £75 for a good game.
Yeah.
I would
let me have everything.
Pay more if you got rid of all of that.
Yeah. I don't want tiers. I don't want the artwork. I don't want the soundtrack. I don't want whatever it is. I don't want
just
any
when
of that
you
crap.
release shit, I want that for paying 70, 80 quid.
Yeah. Give me £75.
Totally agree.
I want to pay a fair price for a fair game.
Totally
Everybody
agree.
feels good. You know, having 3 tiers of a product. Okay, so you can buy a car, but it doesn't have wheels. How about a car without an engine? It's just nonsense.
Exactly.
It's nonsense. Just give me everything for a price that's set fairly. And I know it's you know, our market research shows that lots of people don't have the money to pay £75. I get that and I appreciate that. But there's also a lot of people that do, and there's also a lot of people that will, because it's a good product.
And there's also a lot of people who would buy it at the lower price, who would not buy it at 70, but then buy the DLC.
Correct.
No matter,
so if everyone had to pay the same price, then you'd all get the same thing, and there'd be no, you know, flexing that I've got this and I've got that, and knowing that this fucking idiot's bought it. If everyone got all the same stuff, there'd be no, you know, if certain things come out that could break the game, that could be paid to win, that would never happen. If you put the way Bork's put it there, if you all had to pay 75 quid, 80 quid for the game, and you got everything as and when it came out, there'd be no problem with that. But you've got
Isn't it weird?
Reneban, he said a pre-rendered trailer always gets us. Ubisoft is one example. Totally agree with you. Look at Watch Dogs. Remember the uproar when Watch Dogs put their trailer out?
Yeah.
And The Division, that was another one. It was nothing like it. So I think Reneban, when we see the gameplay trailer, and there will be bullshit in that because it'll be rendered at 4K or 8K, whatever. But at least we'll see the mechanics. We'll see, what the game's all about. And I've just looked at that again. I hope that's in the game. I don't know if you see the guy walking over the container. I hope that's
being able to climb and mantle.
yeah. I hope
movement
that's a mechanic.
systems.
I like that.
I
like
think
that.
They didn't render the grappling hook.
Well, that's the thing. I think that we are going to have at least a little bit more movement because we've got grappling hook guy. So I could see base movement being a little bit improved as well to sort of
hopefully.
compensate, but provide some level of balance.
In theory, anything approximately kind of waist to chest high should be climbable in general.
But I mean, that guy in that, he was jumping up on one of those container things. And I like the fact that, I know it's pre-rendered. I'm getting excited. I know I am. I know it was pre-rendered and I know it's game engine footage. But watching that guy step up, grabbing, pulling himself up, I'd love to see that.
The animations are nice. I remember back in the day where any form of mantling was just you do some weird sort of like leg over hop thing and you kind of partially phase through it. But I can see exactly what you mean, Devin. You want to feel like when you're moving in the game, you want it to look and feel natural, as if you were
feel
there
young again.
pull it. You want to feel young again. You want to
It's
pull
not
yourself
happening.
over. You want to stand there. Your beautiful beard and your hair flowing in the wind.
Yeah, my missus, she thinks I'm a little kid anyway. I've shown her the trailer and I'm saying, look at this, look at that, look at it. This was after
Look at the shiny.
because I actually do get more animated when and she said, the fucking cartoon, look at it, it's not a real thing. I'm saying, it is, look, it's Battlefield, it's a real thing.
She said the same thing as me then.
Yeah, probably. Probably. You had the
just a
decency
cartoon.
to say it at the time, though.
Yeah, there's no gameplay in this. I'm not buying this. I'll wait till Sunday. Do you know what? One of the things I do want to say, God, I always feel like I've got to pour a bucket of cold water over everybody's heart.
No. Someone has to. Someone has to be ultimately balanced.
So
Yeah.
on Sunday, we are going to see gameplay, which will be 100% scripted.
Oh, definitely.
That's true.
Definitely.
So what you see on Sunday will not be how you play the game because there'll be, there'll be 127 other random people doing exactly what they want on, which will not coordinate.
Like
with you.
Jack
It will not look
Frags,
good.
Westy, Level Cap. You lot go and stand over there because I'm going to snipe you now. Or do me a favour, you three people stand there while Jack Frags kills you and makes out this game is awesome. That's how that's going to work. And I like Jack Frags, by the way. He's one of the ones I do like.
It is unfortunate that we end up with stuff like that in the marketing, but I think people have learned that Battlefield is not that clean, and that is why we like Battlefield, because it's not a game where you play a game. It's a game where you go out and you make your own fun.
Yeah, I mean, and you can. I mean, the one thing we know about Battlefield as well, and they've done sort of the little montage they did there of Battlefield moments only in Battlefield. Everyone knows that. Any first-person shooter knows that was only in Battlefield moment. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's got that, and I think the best thing they did, I mean, they did historic. I think it actually quite worked in Battlefield 1, and they made a mistake with Battlefield 2. Even though I was actually buzzing and hyped for Battlefield 5, it just turned out to be shite. But I think they've gone back to what they know, and it's a modern shooter. I think that's the pinnacle of DICE and Battlefield. is a modern shooter, and I can't help being optimistic. You know why? Because I want it to be good. I know
Yeah.
Bork's a bit more sort of level than me, and I know it's the same with you, Stealth. I just want it to be so
what?
good, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
I've got no problem with the franchise apart from Battlefield 5, maybe. I've just been burnt so many times.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Like so many promises in the
Yeah.
marketing and the hype, and I was talking to Ben the other night, and I said I remember when Battlefield 3, they showed the digging trenches and foxholes with the satchels,
Yeah.
and everybody was like, "Oh crap!" Like, it was Operation Metro, and it showed you could almost mold the terrain
I was
around
playing that
you.
last night.
It was, but we never saw it. It never happened. It never came out. It was just marketing. It was just hype. But it was really, really good. And we're still, we're 10 years down the line, and we've still not got to that point.
And we were promised a dragging mechanic. I thought that would have been awesome.
Dragging would have
Imagine
been
that.
excellent.
That never happened. And I thought, as a medic, just give that the medic that you could drag someone who's down into cover and revive them. That would have been fucking awesome, to be honest.
Absolutely. I mean, like,
Well,
And that
Oh,
never
sorry, go on,
happened.
I'd say a criticism I had playing Battlefield 4 last night is why don't smoke grenades obscure anything?
Because
boy.
go on, Bolt.
They're just like they're almost pointless. Like
Yeah.
I come from games where you use smoke, smoke to cover your movements and smoke to cover
Yeah.
your actions.
Reviving
You-
someone.
you-
Yeah.
or moving a team across an opening. Nope. I started throwing smokes last night, and it was like, oh shit, everybody can just see through it.
Yeah. I mean, this is where
It's
games
just
like you play,
mechanic.
Squad, and games like that get it perfectly right, because you throw smoke out because you want to, for argument's sake, go from one building to another to make movement to attack whatever you need to attack. You throw some smoke out. The boys would get through to the next building, but I totally agree that doesn't seem to happen in Battlefield.
No, I'm not saying it's got to be hyper realistic. I'm not suggesting for a second that this follows any kind of sim route or anything like that. But just simple, basic mechanics like that, which let's make a medic a medic.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, smoke is smoke. It doesn't matter if you're playing a actual mil-sim hyper-realistic game or if you're playing Battlefield. If
Yeah.
smoke does not smoke, it is not smoke.
Yeah, exactly. What's the point of equipping it?
Exactly.
I just saw Renan in chat said Battlefield 5 is a smoke fest if you don't play it. I have played it. I still can't get the stink off me.
Yeah, I don't like it. I won't play it anymore. I mean, I slagged the shit out of it. I went back to it a lot of the time just for Ben to play so he could get footage. And, as a Battlefield player from way back, I've got my veteran tags and everything, from playing it so far back in the franchise, and Battlefield 5 happened. I can't play it. I thought it was shit, Battlefield 5. And look, if you like it, if people like it, I've nothing against that if that's what you like, but that wasn't Battlefield for me.
You know what the real sad thing is? That even today you can go and play Battlefield 1942, which released in 2002, and it's still better than Battlefield 5 in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
The only thing I liked about Battlefield 5, if I can come in and say anything good about Battlefield 5, the gunplay was awesome. I've got to say that the gunplay was great, but that was it for me.
It was, but the fact that everybody was infinite bullet sponge just ruined the gunplay. It didn't make any sense. Like I've said before, half a magazine to take down one guy.
Exactly.
That's not a rifle.
No. Right, I'm just going to have a look at the
Yeah.
maps. Okay, so I've just popped back to the website. I'm going to have a look at the maps. I can't actually see the chat, so you boys are going to have to keep me up to date with the chat. So I'm going to view the
Stars is
maps.
just taking the piss of me.
He probably
Yeah.
is. So
I love it, though. I love it. Yeah, I know that they've released.
So we've got 1, 2,
Two
3,
maps?
4,
Three
5,
maps?
6. There's going to be 7 maps. So the first one we've got is called Orbital. Forgive me if I've pronounced this
Oh
wrong.
yeah,
but
four,
it's-
they've showed us 4 maps. I remember now. I think.
Right, we've got 7 here. So we've got Orbital, Kourou, French Guinea, I think that's supposed to be. It's a race against time and hostile conditions as you fight around the site of an imminent rocket launch. So that's where the rocket's going to be. French Guiana? Guyana.
Thanks, Kiana.
Watch out for both enemy fire and upcoming storms in this dynamic map. So obviously that's going to be one of the dynamic maps. I don't know what's going to occur on that one. So we'll go along to Hourglass. That's the Qatar one. Doha, Qatar. It's called Hourglass. Fight in a city. Lost to the desertification around it. Massive dust and sandstorms. Oh, that could be quite cool, actually. Constantly rolling in, bottling out the natural light as you battle for control of a convoy trapped in the shifting sands. I'm actually quite interested in that one. And in the trailer, that's one with the like futuristic high-rise buildings.
I think that's that one. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Kaleidoscope, that's the Korean one, I think. Yeah, Songdo, South Korea. State-of-the-art metropolis in South Korea. Zip line between skyscrapers. There'll be some battlefield moments happening there. And fight amongst plazas surrounding the city's iconic data center. So we've got Manifest, Brani Island, Singapore. Watch out. And that's where... Tom Henderson got it wrong because apparently it was going to be the trailer was going to be in Singapore. Now I've seen snippets of a trailer and I haven't seen it yet. So Brani Island, Singapore. Watch out for tropical tornadoes. Obviously, there's a evolution in that one, tornadoes, and navigate through maze-like cargo containers. Do you think that's where a lot of that trailer was? So he was right, Singapore. Maybe he was right then. Because it says cargo containers in this key trade location, vital to American supply lines. So maybe he was right then, because there's quite a lot of cargo containers in the trailer we just saw.
Yeah, it's the same map as far as I'm aware.
Cool. Discarded. Alang, India. This looks quite interesting.
Oh, this is the ship-breaking yard.
Yeah. That's the one, I think, where the big... there was like the
cargo container wall
fell down.
Yeah.
Along a strategic section of the India's west coast, colossal ships stranded on the beach are being stripped for parts. Fight amongst the hulls of these behemoths, Battlefield 1, while adapting to deadly storms. I'm quite interested in that one. So Breakaway, that's the one where you initially see the trailer, Queen Maud Land, Antarctica. Tread carefully on this dynamic map where oil extraction has turned the freezing area to a strategic hotspot. The whiskey's taken effect. Take advantage of destructible fuel tanks and silos that create debris fields and permanent fires when destroyed. I'm looking forward to that one as well. And the last one is Renewal. Egypt, Eastern Desert Egypt, a giant wall built to secure rich man-made agricultural areas takes center stage on this intense map. Prepare for the extreme conditions, deploy and secure the access points and massive gates in the wall. I'm actually not offended by any of those, to be honest.
A lot of the maps seem to be reimagining or reusing parts from favorites in the past, and I like that a lot because it shows that they actually know what we liked. For example, Manifest, as far as I'm aware and from what I've seen, it's basically Nosher Canals.
Well, that's what Reneban's just said, and do you know what I've because in my reveal video, when I did it live, I said Battlefield 3 is all over this.
If you look at the maps, we can probably pin down each map to be inspired by a past Battlefield. I have no doubt about that, except maybe Renewal. But that being said, I really like the idea of renewal because it's the first time we have had a map that is completely bisected by a terrain obstacle.
I'm telling chat about, I'd love to see No Shah 2042 or Caspian 2042.
Damn right.
Yeah, man.
But do you know the one that I
man.
really want to see? Is Wake Island 2042.
Wake Island.
I think
How
we're gonna
many
get
times
that
do they have to
because-
do it though?
Yeah.
No. But it doesn't matter. To get that map is absolutely perfect for conquest.
Well, it's iconic, isn't it? I mean,
Like,
We're going to get it at some point. I would say by Battle Pass 2, we'll have it.
do you think so? Newt Wake Island, or a modern
Do we-
Wake Island.
Do we want to put that as an official prediction, Devlin?
You know what? I'm gonna go. No, I'll actually go Destroyed Wake Island. I'll put
Alright.
that as something like. Let me try and make a prediction. That'll be somewhere that people who don't want to get involved in being one of the factions all go to. Like, look, I'm not going back there, but the insurgents would all go on that island. The people who don't necessarily want to be involved, but they will defend that island to shit. I will go with that. Something like that.
just going back to the maps, probably the most positive thing that I've got to say about the trailer, I'll say that in air quotes, is the scenery is amazing.
It's beautiful.
It's
Absolutely.
frostbite, though, isn't it?
It is stunning. And you know what? DICE are known for this. You will go, back to Battlefield 2. When Battlefield 2 came out, it was stunning compared to everything, at the time.
Reneban's got some fucking brilliant ideas, by the way. He just said, imagine Wake Island with a huge ship in the middle or an installation.
Wow.
Oh, that's covered in 2142 when the aliens land.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
prediction.
exactly.
Stop giving it away, man.
I know, yeah.
My prediction to go alongside Devlin's, outside of when we'll get it, was I reckon that when we get Wake Island, the backstory will be that either it is a staging ground for presumably US forces, and there's, big sort of troop movements in that area, therefore Russia or whoever the opponents are have attacked it, or it will be a base/research facility because it's the most isolated place in the world.
Actually, that'd be a
where
great
else do
idea.
where else do you want to hide something? Where else do you want to put something where people,
Sure.
if they get anywhere near this thing, blow them out of the water?
I think this
Go
Are
on,
you
go
getting
on.
frustrated, boss?
No. I've lost my train of thought. I just read something that made me laugh, and it just totally threw me. I should stop reading whilst I'm talking. I think the whole Battlefield experience historically has been one of repetition. It's like a reinvention of what came before. I think you go back to Bad Company and bringing in Rush or Gold Rush. That made a massive change. If you remember Bad Company 2, Rush was like the mainstay. It was the main game mode. But I'd like to see some more interesting game modes come out of this. Rush seemed to be dead for me in Battlefield 5 and 4.
I think it's
No-
been
nobody
dead for
played.
a while, in all fairness.
But
Yeah,
there's-
I remember
there's no
playing
good reason
Brave
for
a
it.
lot.
There's
Some-
no good reason for it.
Something I would like to see is, I use this term very, very loosely, is a quote-unquote story mode for the maps. So, for example, we've already got DICE putting in lore behind the maps. So, for example, you've got the Launchpad map, or whatever it was called, can't remember. One faction is trying to put some satellites into space, the other one doesn't want them to do it. We've already got the Qatar map of there is a convoy stranded
I'm
in
looking
the city.
forward to that,
They
actually,
need
the
to get
Qatar
out.
map.
Give us a story, quote unquote, story mode for the map where one team, say, has to actually physically reach the convoy, you capture the convoy's capture point, and then they start trucking their way out of the city. Then
Have
the
they
enemy
actually
is coming
said
in
that
trying
though?
to-
That's
I
why
don't
they've
know.
not. That's why they've not put a single player in it, because
They
it's
said
going to
there
be
are
like a story
Yeah.
modes within
There are
the
story
multiplayer.
elements, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's anything to do with gameplay. It could just
I
be a
suppose.
background lore
Suppose,
story, similar
yeah.
to how Titanfall 1 did its story. It's just a radio conversation.
I
But-
think what they're pushing for and what works. I mean, this works in. And I've mentioned before in Red Orchestra, is almost a multiplayer campaign.
Yep.
You know, like a realistic battlefield that has consequences. Now, you might only stick around for 2 of the battles out of the whole campaign, but at some point you're going to join one that is the end of a campaign or the beginning of a campaign, and you're going to get to experience every aspect of it.
Yeah, 'cause like I was saying with that, that's exactly what I want. Because again, if I went back to the spaceship one team is defending it desperately to get it into orbit. The other team is doing everything it can to stop it. One
To
of your
stop it,
objectives,
yeah.
one of your objectives as the opposing team might be take out the fueling station or something, and then suddenly a good fifth of the map is just a raging inferno because you've blown up an entire refinery of rocket fuel or something like that.
Absolutely.
You can get amazing things happening.
You know, Red Orchestra works in a similar way in ticket counts as well. So if one team steamrolls another, it doesn't necessarily mean they've got an advantage in the next battle. The opposing team may get more tickets because they've had time to defend better. It almost balances the game for you. So you can have a terrible team with more tickets to make it harder for the really good team. That kind of dynamic modification.
Are you going to
of
come and
outcome-
say hello, Jack?
Okay.
Mrs. has walked in. Come and say hello.
Hello. I don't know you.
Hang on, put the headphones
I
on.
think another thing that would be amazing is just
You'll have to get down.
have just these story elements and just build on them really.
Yeah,
because
there
I
has to
would,
be some story. Yeah,
I would love, as I say, we have this Qatar map with the convoy caught up in the middle of the sea. I would love, as the the team that's trying to recover them, as my tickets are ticking lower and lower, we get to 50%, and suddenly some voice comes on my radio saying, "Hey, we can see the Russians or we can see the enemy. They're coming at us. We're defending ourselves. You drop down to 20%. We've lost our lead 2 vehicles. We need to get some support here. Get down to 10%.
Yeah.
Last vehicle standing. We're running out of ammo. Where the hell are you?" I would love little bits of just... They do nothing for gameplay, but me hearing something like that, it makes my brain release a little bit of dopamine because it makes the experience feel that bit more engaging.
I think these people aren't stupid who are making this. I don't
Absolutely
think
not.
they're
Far from stupid.
yeah. The weakness, I believe, is when they try and cater for everybody,
Yeah, no doubt about that.
and it kind of blurs the edges. And I think that having almost a very rigid direction is what makes good games. And hopefully, the rigid direction with this is let's go back to what Battlefield 3 and 4 was.
Can I
Yeah.
can I just pop in here? Has anyone found out? I'm not sure if Dave could possibly do it for us. Can you find out what time the reveal is on Sunday for the gameplay? Because we're coming to the end of the stream now, and I just want to say one or two things before we sort of pop off. If anyone out there in the chat could find out when the actual gameplay trailer is on Sunday. Little Joker said 2 maps that I would love to see, I think, in 2042 would be Grand Bazaar in BF3. I really like that map,
Yeah.
in all fairness.
It was an absolute grind on that center line, but everyone still went there because it was amazing.
Yeah, I really like that map, in all fairness. And a 2042 version of Satellite. Not
Yeah,
overly sure about Satellite, to be
I don't-
honest, but yeah, Grand Bazaar with a... Grand Bizarre.
Grand Bazaar is one of those maps where you basically have those 90s action scenes happening. Like, I remember going along with PKM at one point, and out of the side corridor comes an entire squad of Americans. I was playing Russian at the time. Do I ADS? Do I try and do anything? No, I turn, I pin the trigger, and I just hip fire at those guys. And I'm just going nuts in that. It was amazing. It was a great map. I want more of it.
The best bit about it, I thought, was the vehicle stuff, where you could just kind of drive around and just shoot inwards.
Yeah, backlining.
Yeah, yeah.
Backlining was really strong with those two LAVs.
But it also made again the engineer class valuable, repairing and destroying vehicles.
The other thing I quite liked before it was patched on Grand Bazaar was supports using mortars, because in that center area you needed a really lucky mortar to do anything, but you could hit the enemy spawn, you could hit where they were trying to come in, which meant that you could close down their entrance, you could blocking barrage them, which meant that your team could actually get in there, cap the objective, because the enemy can't bring in reinforcements. But then they changed coming through the sides, and then you're like, all right, where do I want to shift my mortars to? There was a lot of nuanced gameplay there if you were willing to think about it and make use of it.
Okay, so Renaband's just said there he knows it'll be on the Xbox Live event thing at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Is that Eastern time, and 6 p.m. BST? I don't know what BST is.
6 p.m. for us, yeah.
Yeah,
British Standard Time.
Oh, British. Oh, I always work on GMP. Greenwich Mean Time.
Yeah, GMT, UTC.
I'm old-fashioned.
Yeah, I've got to agree with that.
So about 6 o'clock on Sunday.
But yeah, it's
Six o'clock.
E3 this weekend, isn't it?
Oh, right, okay.
So
Okay.
I think it's on Sunday's E3 schedule.
So I'll obviously be streaming the gameplay, and we'll see what we're going to get out of that. I mean, we've gone a little over tonight, which hasn't been a bad thing, because it's been a really decent chat. And I just want to say, Renaban, not really noticed you in the chat before, but thank you for contributing. You probably have, and you'll think I'm a dick now for saying that. But thanks for coming along. We've also got One Shot there, always pops along, gives us support. And we have Staz, and I'm quite surprised that we've gone on over, but Battlefield 2042 is the thing at the moment. You know what? Can I just sort of hit on one thing just before we go, and your views and what you would like from it? Like I say, just before we go, is crossplay.
Yes, absolutely, go for it.
So still,
put it in
go on. What do you think it's a good, bad thing? How would you implement it?
Just go for it, is my opinion, because it's a Battlefield game where Battlefield things happen. Having more people doing more things is always good. And I don't feel that certain advantages that you get between PC and console are as impactful in Battlefield as they are in, say, COD or such. They are, certainly, but I feel Battlefield has the wiggle room to be able to pull it off in a better fashion, but I don't think it's going to happen, personally.
Just quickly, Borks, your views, and do you think it's going to happen?
Sorry, I missed the question.
The crossplay.
I kind of hope so, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. Generally, I think it's fine, but I do also think that if there are limitations between the older consoles and the new ones, it's almost like a different sandbox,
Sure.
and it should be kept separate.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't see any problem with this generation and PC.
Because I think it's probably a thing at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if it happens, it happens. It's cool. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, in Modern Warfare, for instance, I turn crossplay off because I don't know. Like, I'm still of the opinion that people with controllers have unfair advantage. They don't have an unfair advantage. You know, like
Right. Okay.
mouse and keyboard is a superior.
Yeah, I personally think so. Now being obviously a PC player, I mean, my personal views are, I think they definitely should have crossplay. I think they should have the option to turn it off, though, or they should have the option, because the problem is, for me, and I'm sure for console players, is that the hackers, and it's all on it pretty much is 99.9%, apart from the little gadgets you can get for the consoles, it's on PC. So I think there should be crossplay, but I think the console players should have the opportunity to just play with console players. So PS5, Xbox Series X, and relative to that. And I think they should be able to, if they want to, not play with PC players, because that's where we're going to get the hackers if there's going to be that problem. I really want there to be crossplay, because I would actually like to play with subscribers. I would actually like to make some videos playing with the subscribers and get them involved in the channel. Bork, do you want to say something, mate?
Yeah, one of the things that I haven't seen mentioned anywhere or discussed, which is of critical importance of me, obviously, is community servers and hosting community servers.
Yeah, they need a rent a server pro. They definitely need a server program.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening with that. I'm assuming
That's
because it's a
another thing.
AAA title that they're not going to release server binaries, so people like me can just host their own.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to
exactly.
go
It's
to an
not
auth-
going to happen, mate.
No, it's, we're in 2021, and
It should be available. Shit like that should be available.
I understand why it's not to some extent. They're trying to protect their IP by not exposing the server architecture to the public.
Sure.
But I also think that when they do this authorized server host reseller bullshit, that you end up getting charged through the nose for something that you could do yourself for half the price,
Correct.
which I've
Correct.
talked about before.
Yeah.
I do think it's really important that communities should be able to host their own servers. They should be able to be private.
Definitely.
They should be able to be
Definitely.
very modifiable. And nobody spoke about that yet, and it's something that
Maybe that's something we'll discuss in a further podcast, Borked. But tonight, because we've gone over it a little bit. We used to do longer ones, but I'm actually going to close the podcast now. I think we've had a decent night, in all fairness, and I really appreciate Stealth Slicer and Borked. Been very informative, and it's been a great chat tonight, and the actual chat has been superb. And we just had CFN King Speedy pop in. I also saw that the pre-order DLC content, there's a year one pass, so maybe they're doing what Rainbow Six Siege has done. Again, another thing that we could probably discuss later today. Oh, there's Steve McQueen just popped in as we go in, mate. How you doing, Steve? But anyway, I just want to thank everyone in the chat. And don't forget, if you want to be in with a chance of winning a copy of Battlefield 2042, start off with being subscribed. Over the next few weeks, I'll let you know what's needed to be done to win a copy, and it's on any format. And we might do different giveaways after that. But I just want to really say thank you to Stealth Slicer 77, subscribe to his channel, and Borked. I really appreciate, gents. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. It's been great getting back to it after missing 2 weeks.
And Bork, I'm not sure if you've gone.
No, I'm still here. Yeah, thank you. Excellent.
And pretty much that's about it. I want to say just thank you for joining us tonight. Don't forget to like, subscribe, press that bell icon and ticket. And this is Mr. Devlin with Borked and with Stealth Slicer.
Out.